Hello YouTube, Flightsimguy here. I never thought this day would come, but evidently it's here. I can't believe it. You're looking at Aerosoft's and Digital Aviation's implementation of the Bombardier CRJ 700. It just came out today. I woke up, saw it on some market, so I figured I'd go ahead and buy it. Do a quick review. I have not flown it. In fact, I don't know much about this plane. I've just been tinkering with it, and I didn't want to spend the time to get to know the plane and go through all the flights and whatnot before doing a quick review. I wanted to be one of the first out there. So what I'm going to do is, I'm at Dayton. I'm going to go ahead and run through a visual inspection of the aircraft, look on the outside, on the inside. We're going to do a detailed scrub of the cockpit, what all the buttons are and whatnot. We will go over the various commands and various auxiliary applications that come to support this aircraft, and try and fire it up and do a quick flight. What we're going to do is, I'm at Dayton. I'm going to fly from here, VFR to right pat, do a touch and go, and then continue heading east to do a touch and go at Port Columbus, and then head over to Bolton Field and do a quick land. I have my frequencies for the ILS at Port Columbus and Bolton. I'm not going to do an FMC style flight. I'll save that for another flight. I'm going to play with the FMC, make sure I can program it, and then try a flight. What we're doing today is just a quick hand flying of the aircraft to get a good idea as to how it feels. Alright, so this is the external view of the aircraft. And I should have parked it somewhere else. I'm in Steam. I don't have EasyDock set up for this, so I'm gonna have to use the stock FSX commands to poke around and see what things look like. Alright, so the external modeling looks great. Also, this plane looks an awful lot like the ERJ from Embraer, but you can tell the difference. Main difference is, if you go to the top, the wingspan of this plane is a little bit longer than the ERJ with regards to proportionality to the fuselage. And because of that, I'm suspecting this aircraft to be a little bit easier to fly. Also, you can tell the CRJs, the engine cowling for the ERJs covers the whole engine. For the CRJ, it's halfway. I'm guessing these are Pratt & Whitney engines. The CRJ is built by Bombardier, which is a Canadian outfit. So, and Pratt & Whitney has an operation in Canada. I'm just guessing. I guess I should look it up. That's another way you can tell the CRJs from the ERJs. This part of the engine is exposed. Another way you can tell is the nose. The ERJ, or the CRJ, has a very distinctive, sharp and pointy nose. That's the CRJ. The ERJ, it's a little bit more blended out. Okay, and the CRJ has a little bit larger capacity than the ERJ. If you've ever flown in either one, the CRJ is a little bit bigger with regards to volume in the internal. Alright, so most developers, they put out good products with regards to the external modeling. This one looks as good as it's gonna get. I imagine these are 4K textures. It looks pretty good. Oh, also this is I'm in Steam. This aircraft, I guess I should go over the basics. It's $41 on the Sim Market store. You can also buy it on Aerosoft's website. You can also buy it, I imagine, at FS Pilot Shop. And the installer is good for P3D 3X, P3D 4X, FSX, and FSX Steam. I'm using FSX Steam this time. Alright, let's go ahead and hop inside. Alright, so we are inside the cockpit. Let's go ahead and back up a little bit. We all know what a real CRJ cockpit looks like. This is their implementation of it. I mean, these textures, everything looks absolutely fantastic. But before we get into the details of those, let's do some basic stuff. These are my views. I guess I can change it to whatever I want. This is the landing gear. Let me go ahead and toggle to somewhere else. Right wing, left wing. Let's go ahead and leave it at right wing. Alright. Alright, so if you hit the A key once you're in the cockpit, it takes you around quite a bit. That's the overhead from the pilot side. Pilot view. Pilot view looking that way. That is the flight management computer. And here you have your throttle and center pedestal. The lower center pedestal with the radios and whatnot. It's the middle view or the view of the flight deck. And this is the lower center pedestal from the co-pilot. Upper center pedestal from the co-pilot. The co-pilot's flight management computer. This is the co-pilot's view. And when you're at these other views, it pans around at the same speed as the captain's view. And this is another view from the co-pilot side. Okay. And this is the overhead from the co-pilot. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing co-pilot again. And here's the best part. If you back it up, there's this little iPad that you can use to set the various states of the aircraft. I'll get to that in a second. And we're back to the pilot's view. Now, every time I review an aircraft, always check out the shift keys. Shift plus 1 through 9. Always have various goodies for the add-on aircraft. Shift 1. In this case, all it does is it toggles you through the various views that you get with the A button. So there's nothing new here. Okay, let's go back to Shift 1. I was just clicking Shift 1 through Shift 9. If you want a 2D view of the overhead panel, just go to View, View Mode, Cockpit, and we have, where is it? Overhead Panel 2D. This one is actually very useful. It would be nice if we could just get to it. Let me, Shift 1 takes me back to the pilot. Let me see if the overhead panel is mapped to one of these shift keys. Nope, not Shift 1. The 2D panel. No, it's not mapped to any one. You have to come up to here, View, View Mode, Cockpit, Overhead. It'd be nice if there was a way to get to it directly. I'd hate to have to keep doing that when I'm flying. Right. Anyway. I don't see where there is a virtual cabin. Outside aircraft. Nope. I don't see where there's a virtual cabin. Let's go ahead and open the door. Shift E. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can. These are all the breakers. I can't get back to the door here. If I had Easy Dock, I could tinker with the other view settings to see if there is a virtual cabin. Otherwise, I'd have to look through the documentation. Speaking of documentation, the documentation is very thorough. If you go into the airplane folder in Sim Objects, look on the Aerosoft, Digital Aviation, whatever, there's a folder for documentation. And there is, let me double check. It's under FSX. In this case, I'm in Steam, so it'd be Steam Apps, Common, FSX, Aerosoft, Digital Aviation CRJ, and Documentation. There are 7 PDF files, FSU throttle calibration, MCDU keyboard interface that allows you to program the CDU right from the keyboard. Aircraft Operating Manual, Part 1. Then there is a quick reference guide. Let's take a look at that. I know you can't see what I'm doing. This one's a good 140 pages. Has all the performance data, a lot of the charts, a lot of whatnot. They probably copied all this stuff directly from the production or the real world performance tables and whatnot. Then there's a tutorial, which is always very handy. And how many pages is this one? 83. And then you have your V-speeds for the CRJ 700 and the V-speeds for the CRJ 900. So the documentation is good. I always measure the virtues of an aircraft add-on by the size of the documentation. I'm sorry, but it just gives me an idea as to how good the plane is. If the people who do the plane or do the add-on spend a lot of time on the documentation, that tells me that the product is really good. So, alright. There is a livery manager application that comes with this add-on. What you do is you have to go into the folder in the FSX file system and find the livery manager executable and run it as administrator. Once you do that, you can go ahead and tinker with your liveries. There is a load manager that gets installed when you install the installer. Too much installs there. The load manager shows up as a new application in Windows. Unfortunately for me, when I go to run it, it wouldn't work. Alright, so the application manager that gets installed with this, it says it can't find the simulator, so it doesn't work. So that's one bug. And I want to say that they didn't say that testing was 100% complete. They said it's good enough for release. So I imagine there's going to be some fixes coming through for this application. Also, the size of the application, the download was 1 gig. So it's a pretty big file. So far, it's not hitting my frames that much. I'm in the high teens, low 20s. And we are in, let me see. Let's take a look at the weather. Yeah, I have active sky weather going on, so that's going to impact the frames a little bit. So, alright, let's go ahead and close the door. Alright, let's take a look at the iPad. That's this thing right here. And you interface with it with a mouse. When I loaded this plane up, it loaded up ready to fly. Engines running, everything going. And what I had to do to turn it off was come to here and select aircraft state cold and dark. Then give it about 5 seconds, then it comes down or it powers down. To power this thing down, you have to move the throttle to idle, okay? There. And to turn it off, it's a little bit different. With the Boeing planes, this is your fuel cutoff, and all you have to do is click it down, and the engines come off. Well, in this case, you have to click it down or click it up, then bring it back, like so. And I guess I have to do the first one. Move it. Okay, so let me think here. Move it up. There. That's off. Up. There. That's off. And that's how you shut the engines off. Otherwise, you can just come here and do it. Bear with me here. I'm going to try something. Control E. Control E doesn't work. What I'm going to do is, when it's time for me to start this thing up, I'm going to try and figure out how to start it myself. Shouldn't be that hard for a plane like this. Turn on the batteries, get some juice going, turn on the fuel pump for the APU, get the APU going, turn on APU bleed air, isolation valves and whatnot, channel it to the engines, turn on the fuel pumps, and go ahead and turn on the igniters and start the engines and the generators and whatnot. I'm guessing I should be able to do that. But before we do that, let's take a look at the iPad. So we have cold and dark, or I can just come here, click, ready for engine start, ready for taxi. Okay, checklists. This is pretty cool. Circuit breakers. I'm not sure what that is. Hydraulic pumps, landing gear, spoilers, and then you can come over here. Internal and external originating checklist. Back. Safety check. Okay, I'm just scrolling here. Before engine start check. This is good. Clear to start check. After start check. Taxi. Before takeoff. Climb. In range. 10,000 foot check. Before landing. Okay, it totally went over your descent and your approach. After landing, shutdown. Terminate. Wow, it's a very thorough checklist. Let's go back home. Fuel and payload. Here you can screw with your fuel and payload. Has your zero fuel weight. Oh shoot. Unfortunately, everything is in the metric system. I'm guessing you can change that with the application manager. That won't work. Set payload and fuel. You can also copy the data over to your perf init in your flight management computer. That is pretty cool. That is very cool. And you can increase and decrease your cargo. And your passengers, your fuel. I'm not exactly sure what 4628 kilograms is, but I'm pretty sure that's plenty of fuel for where I'm going to be doing. Alright. V-speeds. Whoa, look at that. V-speeds 130, 131, 140. Landing. And you can go ahead and set these into the flight. I guess it sets to your the tape here. And your instruments. Gross weight. Options. Oh, here we go. Weight units. We want everything in pounds. We want inches. Temperature, we leave it at Celsius. Flight director, single Q is fine. ILS align time. We'll do quick. Help messages disabled. Save that. More options. Flight plan page 2, no position. You can choose your line select key. PFD throttle detent, hint. Show hide. Use ground friction tweak, enabled. P3D header color scheme for Dave. Okay, I'll enable that. Oh no, we're not going to enable that. Delete. I'm not sure who Dave is. First officer PFD and MFD on. Captain PFD and MFD on. That is pretty cool. Like that. Alright. Ground services. Alright. Let's go ahead and put our wheel chocks out there. I just connected the GPU. Connected ground air. Save. Passenger oxygen mask. They're stowed. Alright, let's take a look. Alright, we got a GPU outside here, folks. Alright. That's pretty cool. Save. Just remember to disconnect it before I go anywhere. Doors. Let's go ahead and open everything up. And let's take a look what that does. Alright, so we have the cargo doors open. Not a lot of doors here. That back door right there is probably a service entrance. Yep. Alright, let's go ahead and close all of these stuff. And aircraft state. Alright. We're at cold and dark. Let's take a look at the cockpit. Alright, what we got here? Master caution, master warning, stall warning, pull up, ground proximity warning, engine fire. course needle, flight director, autopilot engage, autopilot disconnect. I don't know what those are. That's your speed, approach hold, back course, heading hold, nav. This is probably half bank, where you can set your bank angle. Set your altitude, vertical speed, up and down, course 2. I'm not seeing a flight level change feature. That is interesting, no flight level change. So if I want to gain, or come up or go down, I have to use vertical speed. Alright, whatever. We have air limit speeds with the flaps right in front of you, that's good. Buttons to brighten and darken the screens. You know what? Let's go ahead and get some juice to this thing. I have external power, so AC is available. There we go. There we go. And so now where were we? Let's go turn those off. We got this. Click on it, it pops out. That's good. Click on that, it pops out. It's very good. This is your yoke. Can you change this? Nope. It's your elevator trim right there. There's a clock right here. Let's start from the left, work our way to the right. Lighting. Can turn on some lights on the inside floor. Okay. I have no idea what that is. Wipers. Let's see if that does anything. Whoa, it has wipers. Check it out. That's nice. Alright, let's go ahead and turn that off. Use the mouse scroll wheel there. Stall stick pusher. You can turn that off and turn that on. We want that on. Okay, don't need those lights. This right here looks like your radar. ECAS, norm. So you can change that. That's pretty cool. This is a Boeing thing right here. You can just go ahead and change it from the map. You can change it to the engines, but the engine's already there, so let's go ahead and put it back to the map. And you can also swap over the PFDs. Okay, that's pretty cool. Decision height, minimum descent. Here's where you can change your decision height. Here's where you do your barometer. Let's go ahead and confirm that. Get this out of the way. There it is, right there. But for simplicity purpose, I'm just going to hit B. Nav source can change, I guess. And your range and bearing and whatnot. I guess this is some navigation stuff. This is a clock. It's a little bit off. Okay, here's your clock. That's pretty cool. PFD stuff, I'm pretty sure all you simmers know what that crap is. Ditto for this. I'm not gonna talk about that. What we got here? Altitude capability, altitude for gross weight. Alright, that's good. Only problem is this is really of no use to you because you can't access it while you're flying because the yoke is in the way. That pops out. Alright. These are your engines, N1, N2, all your lights and whatnot, status of gear, status of flaps, oil, pressure, temperature, fuel flow, and some more stuff over here. Your door, your trim status, elevator, rudder, ailerons, pressurization, rate of change, brake temperature, that's pretty cool, packs and whatnot. And here you have your backup HSI. In case the primary one fails, you got a backup right here. Coming down, I'm going to do a separate episode for the flight management computer. What I will do is I'll go ahead and initialize our position. We are at Dayton, just for the purposes of initialization. That way the INS can do its thing. Alright. We'll go to the INS in a second. Here's your pitch and turn. Not sure what that is. Your spoilers, thrust reversers, left, right armed. These are your radios. COM 1, NAV 1. These are all the buttons associated with the radios. Weather radar, antenna, gain, tilt, whatnot. This is your backup radio. Stabilizer trim. All of the final details I will feast on. I want to say that is for your INS, I'm pretty sure. Alright, parking brake. Alright, set that. More radio stuff, DME, public address speakers, for calling out to the cabin. Yaw damper, lighting. Whoa, wow. Can turn on these lights, brighten up the cockpit a little bit. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Now remember folks, I'm not going into anything detailed here. It's just a high-level overview of the aircraft. Here's your trim. And this right here, not sure what this is. I'm going to have to look into this. Entire stores. It looks like this has something to do with messaging. And here's your other comm radio. Obviously, what you know here is reflected over here. And cargo fire. Here's where a fire suppression system for the cargo. Oh, this is your INS right here. It has something to do with your navigation. Okay, usually that's on the overhead with the other planes. Your flaps are right here. Those right here. It's probably going to take me a long time to figure out how to start this thing, but I'm up for the challenge. Here is your spoilers. What do we got here? Anti-skid. I'll turn that on. Engine sync. Ground proximity warnings. Blah, 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 blah. And what we went over here applies over there. There's your autopilot's right there. And the co-pilot has a lot of the same crap that the pilot has, including your iPad. And if you go back here, pretty sure these aren't modeled, but these are all the circuit breakers. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at the overhead. To do that, I'm going to do view mode, aircraft, cockpit, 2D overhead. Alright. Let's back it up a little bit. Okay, this dimming is not simulated. Start at the top left, work our way down to the right. These are your battery. Turn that on. Generators, engine generators, APU generators, fire detection, fire monitor. You can do your test. Hydraulics, these are your external lights. Fuel pumps, bleed air, bleed valve, isolation valve, APU, engine ignition. You have start, stop, run, continuous, and you have your hydraulics. Okay, your hydraulics right here. These are your, let me think. These are your electrical hydraulics. The engine hydraulics work automatically, I'm sure. Pressurization, air conditioning, anti-ice, and your miscellaneous lights. If you've flown anything bigger than a 737, it's essentially the same thing, just implemented differently. Let's go ahead and read the manual, figure stuff out. Alright. Let's shift one, get back over here. Alright, let's see here. Aircraft state. You know what? I'm going to do the detail power up some other time. Right now I'm just going to do a flight. Take it over to Wright Pat and then on to Columbus. And I'll save the power up and the flight management computer for another video. So let's go ahead and take this bad boy, ready to taxi. Okay. Engine starting up. Please wait. Oh shit. While it's doing that, let's get rid of the chocks. Chocks off. Ground power off. Ground air off. Save. Alright. I had to get rid of all of those things. Okay, go away. I just disconnected you. There you go. Alright. Alright. We have a good light up on engine number 2. Engine number 1 should be coming up shortly. Alright. Let's go ahead and tinker with the PFD some more. Let's turn on some lights. Nav source. Let's see here. There we go. That's better. Alright, so we want FMS1. Alright. No, we don't want FMS1. We want DME2, DME1. Let's see if that works. Yes, it does. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, Shift P. Let's get a pushback here. 2 notches of flap should be fine. Yep, that's just like has a leading edge flaps, just like what I've seen when I've flown in the ERJ, CRJ. Alright, let's go ahead and call. We want, let's get an ATIS report.
Airport information, Yankee 1443 Zulu, wind 206 at 4, visibility greater than 20 miles, sky condition 9,500, scattered, ceiling 12,000, broken, temperature 2.1 altimeter 3010, ILS, runway 18 in use, landing and departing, runway 18. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact, you have Yankee.
Okay, runway 18. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. We want right there. And let's go ahead and get
request taxi for takeoff, departure to the north.
There we go. We want to go to the east. Alright, so getting the engines to start. I tried the ready to start option, and in the iPad I tried using the start. I tried the ready to taxi option. It started up everything and it started the left engine. The right engine, so now engine number, the right engine started fine. The left engine, it was spinning up. N2 was at 25, but it wouldn't light off. I tried everything, couldn't get it to work. So what I had to do was reload the plane, and when it loads up engines running. And that's how I am where I am. Now obviously I can start the engines the old school way. What I'm gonna have to do is go through the process, figure it out, and quote unquote institutionalize it. As far as the instruments, I selected instant align. Real align time is about 10 minutes. You can go and leave it real if you want. With regards to setting up the flight management computer, by the time you get done prepping the cockpit for a flight, the gyros would align. Or you can just go ahead and do instant, so whichever. Okay, so right off the bat, the cockpit at this point right here doesn't look a lot unlike the stock CRJ that comes with FSX. It's once you get to the overhead and everything else where all the details come into play. Let me go ahead and turn this up a little bit. I want to see if I can get a feel of the engine sound. Okay, that sounds good. Alright folks, let's see what this thing can do. Oh shit, what's my trim? Alright, see if I can confirm my stabilizer trim. Okay. Slats, and your damper, is that like on or not on or something? Okay. And trim. Somewhere in here I should say what my status of my trim is. Ah, there it is. Alright, we're good. Right there. Okay. Alright, let's go. And there's a little sign there that says takeoff config OK. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to take off, climb, and then we're going to come, let me see, left. Alright, here we go.
Tower, Beach November 7183 Deload, ready for north departure at runway 18. Beach November 7183 Deload, taxi into position and hold. Position and hold.
Okay, V1. I know my rotate's about 130-ish. Rotate. Tap the brakes. Positive rate, gear up. Oh, I'm liking these sounds, boy. Come off the gas list. Yeah. Okay. Coming left to go east. Come up one notch on the flaps. Alright, all I have to do is fine. There it is right there. I-70. Come up one more notch on the flaps. Alright, we're clean on the flaps. I can do a straight in to right pat. Runway 5. If I can see it. And let's go ahead and trim down. This plane, it feels a little bit, it feels like it's bigger or heavier than, say, the Embraer. Let's go ahead and sit up in the seat. There we go. Yeah, it certainly feels a little bit bigger. And it's a little bit bigger, but it flies, it feels like it's a heavier plane or a bigger plane. Alright, is that right, Pat, right there? Yeah, I think that's it. That is it. Alright. Let's go ahead and do this. Alright, I need to slow down. Alright, let's see here. Let's go ahead and turn my course needle. Come on. We want the opposite of runway 5. Where the hell that is. There. Let's go ahead and do that. Need to slow down. Okay, there it is right there. Alright, come over here. Still going way too fast. There we go. Straighten up. Alright. Simple pattern entry, folks. Simple pattern entry. At this point, I am at my downwind. Look over my shoulder. There's a runway right there. What's my altitude? 4,000 feet. Way too high. Alright. Come off the gas. Pitch the nose up. I should be really good for flaps 1. 230. Yeah, I got plenty of time. 2 notches flaps. 1. 2. Alright. Pitch up. Alright, we need to lose some altitude here. Here's your vertical speed right here. Should be touching down between, say, 130 and 140. Alright, that's enough. Alright, give it a coordinated turn to the right. Give it rudder. We can lose a little bit of altitude while we make the turn. I'll keep our speed up. Alright, whoa, whoa, whoa. What's happening here?
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
What the fuck?
Pull up.
Alright, that was a little bit dangerous right there.
Sink rate.
Alright, where's my trim? Alright, almost lost control of the plane there in that turn. See if I can restore and recover. Yeah, these rear engine mounted T-tails, you can get in trouble with them. Alright, runway should be in front of me somewhere. Right, there it is. Alright. Alright, I let the engine drop too much there. You have to be very careful with these rear engine mounted T-tail designs. They can stall on you. Gear down. Alright. Now the notch your flaps. Alright, I'm doing a touch and go, so I don't need to do full flaps. We're at flaps 20. How much more notches I have? 2 more. Flaps 30. According to this, flaps 30. Yeah, I'm good at speed. Alright. I'm not going to use a trim. I'm just going to physically push this down. Alright, obviously it looks like I'm too high. That's okay. That runway right there, 12,000 feet. So if I want, I can set it down halfway. There we go. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what the air brakes look like. They just popped up a little bit. That's fine. Alright. Alright. Let's go ahead and use some more air brakes. Push the nose way down.
Sink rate.
Alright, we're good. Speed rate back in.
Sink rate. Sink rate.
Oh, it's very, very stable. Still coming down at 1,000 feet per minute. That's fine.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
300.
Pull up.
200.
Pull up.
100. 100.
Sink rate.
Okay, slowly give it gas.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
There we go. All right.
Config flaps. Config on flaps. Config on flaps. Config on flaps. Config on flaps. Config flaps.
Okay, pull up 2 notches of flaps. Flaps up 1. Gear up. Alright, let's go ahead and make our turn and resume our course heading east. Keep the flaps down for a little bit. Frame's not too bad. Flaps up. Now all I need to do is this road right here, that Interstate 70. It runs east to west. All I need to do is get it back in my field of view, and I'm good. This is Route 40, US Route 40. That was the main interstate, or the main road, heading east-west across the United States before the interstates were built. Alright, I'm going to take it up to about 7,000, 5 or 7,000, no more than that. There we go. There we go. Okay. And there is a road right over there. And we'll just keep it at this heading right here. Alright. Gotta figure out how to tune these bad boys. There we go. Alright. Let's get it back. There. Yeah, it looks relatively stable in flight. Let's trim it up. And it'll be relatively stable. It feels pretty good. Alright, let's see about this radio. Let's comm and let's nav. Let's do nav. We want left and right 109.1. So let's try that. 109.1. Yep, changed relatively good. And how do you swap it? Is this it? Active. 109.1. Alright. Alright. Course. Do it over here. You gotta make sure the plus is showing up when you do scroll wheel for it to work. Alright, is this thing recording? Yes, it is. Alright, I'm tracking east. I should be able to zoom in on this thing right here. And here's where things can get tricky. I can't access this without moving this. And I don't think they thought that one through. There's got to be a way to remove this. Nope. Maybe this? Nope, that's the trim. That's the autopilot disconnect. Okay. And these are some more things right here. Huh. What I'm trying to do is set up my PFD so when I intercept the ILS, it'll come to life. Right now it's on VOR 2. It needs to be on VOR 1. Such this right here. FMS2, VOR2. It's a nav source. Let's see. Up there it is, right there. Let's try this again. Yep, there it is, right there. Alright, I got the needle. Not sure what freak. What I can do is just go ahead and put the same frequency in both radios, 109.1. So let's do this. 109. Up. 0.1. There. Oops. Pre 109.1. Alright, so it's active. Alright, here's the city of Columbus. And let's go ahead and straighten up. There. At 6,000 feet. It's holding the altitude pretty good. Angle of attack is a little bit up. And I'm not gaining any weight or gaining any altitude.
Tower, airway 6456 is 7 miles north.
All right.
ILS, runway 18.
So radio.
Airway 6456 tower, fly straight in, runway 18.
And just swap it out. Transponder is your ADF. And here is where you can change your transponder code. Yep. Way too fast. There we go. Alright. What do you want? 10 left. 109.1. It looks like I'm tracking to the ILS perfectly. Alright. Flaps 1. Okay. Plane is being idled. There is a way to adjust the range on this. There it is right there. Wow, look at that. That is pretty useful. Yes, I'm tracking to the ILS. Perfectly lined up. Alright. Coming in too fast though. I have flaps 1 at 230. I can give it flaps 2. That should help slow me down. And as those ladies in India showed us, you can lower the gear at any speed. Alright. 18 south. I'm not going to bother calling. Two notches flaps, and it's right in the glide slope. Now it's hard to see, but here it is right here, and I'm lined up right here. And the approach hole is on. That's engaged. Alright, gear down. That looks good. That looks pretty sweet. Alright, still coming in kind of fast. I guess I could come over here, click on my V speeds. 144 knots. Alright, that's not too bad. Traffic. Yes, I see it. Alright, let's see what happens with this traffic. I don't think I'm going to collide with it. Maybe I'm gonna collide with it. Oh wow! The fuck? How did I miss that guy? Oh wow. Or maybe I have my collision turned off. Whatever. Alright.
Traffic.
Oh, not again. Oh no, it's the same guy. Okay, stable on approach. Yep, that's taking us down.
Clear of conflict.
Thank you! So, the TCAS on this works great. Alright, what's my flap status? Okay, my flaps. All I have to do is look at this thing right here. Let's come down one more. Yep, there we go. Okay, last notch. Alright.
300.
Frames are getting beat up right here. Minimums.
200.
Autopilot off.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Okay. Flaps one up, up one. Rotate. Wow. Nearly missed that one. Touch the brakes. Gear up. Flaps up one. Flaps up two. Flaps up three. Alright. Alright. Flaps up. Alright, let's come right. And now let's go ahead and take it into Bolton Field, runway 4, which is... Whoa! Approaching stall. Approaching stall. Let the nose fall over. What's my trim status here? Okay, I see what that thing did. These buttons down here, they change what's up there. That's what that is. Alright. Alright, what's my heading? 12. I need to be going 180. Okay. Let's make a turn. Don't need to climb. Thought I had a lot more space than this.
Sink rate. Sink rate.
500.
Pull up.
400.
Sink rate.
300. 200.
Sink rate.
100. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
And that's it. Final verdict. I've done a lot of hand flying with this thing today and the autopilot. I still have a lot more work to do, but initial impressions is it looks like it's a winner. Definitely worth the wait. And we now finally have a decent CRJ that we can fly with. Now for the power down, I can simply go to the iPad and click cold and dark, or I can try to shut down myself. Alright, so here's how we do the shutdown. First thing we got to do is turn off the engines. Bring that up, bring the whole thing back, and you need to do the same with the co-pilot one. So let's go ahead and do this. Come over to the co-pilot side. One more. And do this. That. Let's go back over to the... And now we are back over at the pilot side. And then we obviously don't have an APU running. So just go ahead and turn everything off. Battery master off. And turn off all of these hydraulics and all these lights. And the APU wasn't running. That is weird. There we go. And that's it. This is a very good plane. I'm glad I bought it. Took me a while to land that Bolton. I kept coming in too high and too fast. Just like with the MD-80, you have to watch when you're in the approach making steep turns. It will stall on you pretty quickly, and the lights are still on. Nope, those lights are all off. Oh, this is it right here. There, and there's one more right there. Okay, cool. I think that does it. Yeah, that did it. A lot more to learn to fly in this aircraft. Otherwise, it's a winner. Reasonably priced. I'm going to go ahead and install it for P3D while I'm here. Got a lot more videos to do on this plane, but for now, this is it. Flightsimguy here. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.